What's up, YouTube? Today's video is going to be a little bit of just kind of talking to you guys and talking about a thought that I had recently while streaming. It's about Call of Duty and kind of the future of it. In the background, you'll see some gameplay. Don't know if I'm going to talk the entire time of the gameplay. There's a chance I do, but it's not a succinct speech or anything like that, so I'm going to be slightly rambling, maybe get a little off topic, maybe throw some random ideas in there. But we're just going to go for it and kind of talk about it because I talked about it on stream, and I think it'd be cool to get some feedback from YouTube and see what you guys think of it. My idea is really cool to me, and I think it could really work. I just don't know all the legal contracts between COD and the developers. But my thought right now is Call of Duty's not in a great state. Vanguard's not great. Cold War wasn't fantastic. Warzone's kind of been holding these last two Call of Duties up, as much as people who love multiplayer might want to deny that, or people who hate Warzone, but that's just kind of the nature of it the last couple years. And even Modern Warfare towards the end kind of died out and everything went towards Warzone, right? So my idea going forward with Call of Duty, because they have to decide if they're going to jump backwards in time again, if they're going to do like a remake of something. They're talking about doing a Modern Warfare 2 based off of 2019's Modern Warfare, or was it 2018? Whichever year it was. And yeah, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it kind of feels like that's kind of overdone, right? Like, we had the first three Modern Warfares, and now we're having a Modern Warfare 2.0, essentially, right? And so to me, it kind of feels a little overdone. It's not exciting. It's same old thing, right? So my kind of idea going forward is that they split off and they do their own thing. By they, I mean the developers. Ravensoft right now is in control of updates and adding and taking away things from Warzone, which I think needs to stay because they've been doing a really solid job of patches and getting rid of broken things fairly quickly. I know people always complain about how long it takes, but people are going to complain no matter what. So Ravensoft just completely takes over Warzone, and that's all they focused on, and that's all they're doing from now on. Like I said, don't know all the numbers before it, don't know how well that would work, but they can put all the resources into Warzone, make it its own line, because right now I feel like Warzone is almost kind of held back by whatever Call of Duty is coming out at that time. The new Warzone map and everything, the colors of it, really cool, the environment is sick, but because they're held back by the fact that Vanguard's out and they have to kind of make it go towards that, I think it could be doing better, just in terms of gun selection. The old school guns just don't click with a lot of people, it doesn't feel the same. They're good and whatnot, but that's because they want us to use them. So if Ravensoft completely took over Warzone, kind of did their own thing, they can make their own updates, have an in-game storyline that changes the map. And it's kind of there's already an outline for it, right? And that's Fortnite. And people make fun of Fortnite, but they've done a really good job for the most part, outside of parts of Chapter 2, right? They've done a really good part at making the map change consistently and change towards whatever storyline is happening that they create. Now, I don't know the numbers, so I don't know how big Ravensoft is, and I don't know if that's something that they could actually do. But I think that would be a smart idea because they've done a good job in terms of updates and everything right now. And then they can kind of take Warzone in its own direction and do whatever they feel necessary, and they don't have to be restrained by whatever Call of Duty is coming out. Because we have Modern Warfare 2 coming out next year, so what are they going to do? Just keep the same guns from Modern Warfare and then add, make all of those the same, stats as they were back then so that they're good now? It's a lot of stuff that they're doing that it just kind of feels like they don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? I just can hit my mic. And now going into other things outside of Warzone, right? So usually when you buy a Call of Duty, you have campaign, multiplayer, and then you have zombies or spec ops, depending on which studio made it. Zombies if it's Treyarch, Spec Ops if it's Infinity Ward. So, and my ideas here kind of go towards helping the competitive scene for multiplayer, but also the casual players who enjoy not playing multiplayer, so like Spec Ops and Zombies. So first off, and I'm going to be looking at my notes here because I have, well, not notes, but I just have things pulled up on Google on my phone. I would have Infinity Ward take over making campaign and Spec Ops. The campaigns of the original Modern Warfare and even the new one were pretty sweet. It's probably most people's favorite campaigns. Black Ops has their campaign, and it's really that's really good as well. But I think Modern Warfare takes the cake in terms of just how important the campaign was, the nostalgia from it, and all that stuff, right? So Infinity Ward takes over and makes a campaign in Spec Ops, and that is their only goal. That is all they're making, and all their resources go into that. They don't need to make an entire game of campaign. They don't have to worry about tuning weapons for multiplayer and all that stuff. Campaign, Spec Ops, Infinity Ward, based off of the Modern Warfare games. And that's kind of like I said, this idea is I wouldn't say radical because but it's different. It's super different from anything that's been done. And then for multiplayer / zombies, of course Treyarch would take over for that. Not only for zombies because Treyarch makes the best zombies, but for multiplayer, the last time I feel like esports was super popular and the competitive scene was fantastic and people were really involved and enjoyed it was Black Ops 2. Obviously more people watch competitive now, even if it's not as great, because there's just more people who have access to the internet and all that stuff, right? But Black Ops 2 multiplayer, they also have Black Ops 3, of course, which might have been my favorite multiplayer personally, so that kind of swings me a little bit. And as good as Modern Warfare multiplayer was, I think Black Ops 2 is still slightly better, right? So when I say a certain developer does better in a certain area, it doesn't mean the other ones are like complete shit. It just means they did better. I think Black Ops multiplayers are overall better. The guns feel better. It's more fresh. They've never done anything that just is a complete dud, right? I'm not saying Modern Warfare has, but Sledgehammer has. In this video, I don't want to shit on Sledgehammer, but like they've made World War II, they made Advanced Warfare, Cold War, and they helped develop Vanguard, I believe. Here, let me pull that up real quick. Yeah, so they made Vanguard. Vanguard, Cold War, complete duds. Advanced Warfare, not people's favorites. Some people really like it. I didn't mind it. It was fun, but not a lot of people's favorites, right? And then World War II, like mixed reviews, probably towards the bottom side of people. Like if somebody doesn't make a tier list, World War II is usually in C or D, right? And so I don't have Sledgehammer making any games or any part of a game. Not to completely crap on them, they haven't done a really great job. It's just how it is. It's the stats, facts, and even if they sold more numbers than some older games, it's just because there's more people to buy it, right? Sometimes you just have to go with feeling and not completely look at stats. So anyways, I don't have Sledgehammer making anything. I have Ravensoft taking over Warzone. They can change the map more consistently if all of their resources are in Warzone, which I think they need to do anyways. Just make it more fresh, update it more, change weapons and tuning more consistently. And then I have Infinity Ward taking over campaign and Spec Ops. And then Treyarch taking over multiplayer and zombies. The reason I think they need to split up is because there's no defined storyline right now that we all care about a lot. There's And like I said, they don't know what they're doing. They're going back to Modern Warfare 2 because they don't know if they should go forward, go backwards, whatever. Right? So now all three of these developers are split off, and they have their own freedom to make whatever game updates, guns, whatever they need, whatever they want, right? And like I said, I don't know the contracts. I don't know how that would all work. I don't know if it even does work, right? And it's completely different, but I think it makes a lot of sense. The certain developers doing what they're best at. And on top of that, it's more Call of Duty consistently for people to be hyped about. We're not waiting 2 years, year and a half for a new COD for it to suck, right? Like, now we have 3 developers dropping, different game modes and whatnot consistently throughout the year, because they'd probably all publish at different times, I'm assuming. And then they also don't have to base it off of each other. In terms of buying the games and downloading all that content, I haven't thought about that. I don't know exactly how all that would work. But it was just a thought I had that I feel like would actually be really cool if we could have a campaign made by Infinity Ward, because they have the best campaigns and it would be super hype. And then they can go in any direction they want. And then Treyarch making zombies and multiplayer, they can go in any direction they want. They don't, have to base it off of each other. And then they're worrying about less stuff so they can focus on being more specific and making the game, the multiplayer and zombies as best as they can. Bringing back some of that nostalgia while making esports multiplayer really great, right? So there's just kind of my thoughts on it. You guys give me feedback on how that sounds. Don't think too much into like the logistics of it, because one, most of you probably don't actually know, and then two, it's an idea. It's something that they could do going forward. It's not a guaranteed. There's a good chance it won't happen just because studios want to make as much money as they can, yada yada yada. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy the gameplay in the background. And like I said, let me know what you think of the idea. Any changes you would make to it. Argue with me, I don't care. Just don't be hostile. It's unnecessary. Yeah, silly goose. But yeah, that's it. One last thing, look at the scoreboard. That's who I play with. Anywho, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Love you guys all. Adios.